Right, so you're asking, how do we level up our schnitties? It's pretty bloody easy. We'll sub out the chicken breast, because breast definitely isn't best. And we're going to be using largely Aussie ingredients, including the rub and the chicken. So we're going to do the traditional chicken breast version. We're going to do a thigh version. We're going to do one shallow fry, one in the air fryer. We'll compare the difference at the end. So this is all we're going to need. We've got our chicken thighs here, panko breadcrumbs. We've got a couple of chicken bum nuggets. We've got some sriracha. Use whatever oil you want. Beef tallow works an absolute treat. You see me use that a lot. Just some plain flour, and we've got some chicken and chips rub. It's that bloody simple now. A mallet's going to make your life a lot easier. If not, something heavy like a pan or something like that will do the trick. Prostate glove on. Now for the dredging station, we're going to set it up in the order that you're actually going to dunk your chicken in. That's makes common sense, right? So some all-purpose flour up first. Then we're going to season that with the chicken and chips barbecue rub, because it is an absolute banger and it's an award winner too. So we're probably going to go about 3 tablespoons of chicken and chips. Second station, we're going to go the bum nugget, so a couple of eggs. Don't you just hate it when you get the egg in there? God, that's bloody annoying. Especially when you get a little bit and it slips around like an absolute mongrel. And we're probably going to go just a drizzle of sriracha over the top. Then lastly, panko breadcrumbs. You can also do usually traditional crumbs, or just get a hard piece of sourdough and just smash that straight through your blitzer. If we've got the time, I'll chop up some fresh thyme. I think that works really well in either the flour or the panko crumb base, but I'm going to use some Italian herb mix. It's actually still a cracker. I will preface this, if you've got a food thermometer, this makes life a hell of a lot easier, because food safe temp is 74 Celsius for chicken. So if you take it off about 71, carry over cooking, we'll bring you to 74, which would be perfectly cooked. Unless, of course, you're pasteurizing. Because we're keeping this simple, stupid, nothing crazy here. Just going to mix up your flour and chicken and chips mix. Same with chicken bum nuggets. Just mix that all thoroughly through. If you really want, you can take out the egg white as well and just run with the egg yolk. So that concludes the prep, or the mise en place for you fancy buggers. It's that simple. Few plates, hit up the dredge, get your chicken ready. Now we're just going to pound it out, and then we'll start crumbing it. Now if you want to extend the girth of these pieces of chicken, we can pound them out with the mallet like I showed you before. My little tip is just use 2 sheets of greaseproof paper on the top. That means there's a lot less cleaning and you're not going to have any of your chicken juices splashing around. So we're just going to smash that to about 1.5 centimeters in thickness. Do that for the chicken thigh and the breast too. Besides some slight tenderizing, one of the key things we're looking for here is we want a nice even thickness, because that will let it cook at an even rate. Then we won't have one part of the chicken dry and one part juicy. And this is particularly prevalent, especially if you're sticking with that breast is best type solution, because that can dry out quite considerably in comparison to the thigh, which is more forgiving with a lot of that intramuscular fat. Now up to you, this is an opportunity we can take to seasoning, but you have to remember we have seasoned the flour, we've also seasoned the eggs, and we've seasoned the panko crumb, so not always mandatory. Now if you haven't done a crumb or a dredging station, pretty damn simple. Chicken into the flour first, and we're just going to get a nice even coat, and then we're going to take all the excess off. That technique is going to be the same across all. We just want to remove all that excess, just so we don't have crap going through oil. So make sure all the little nooks and crannies are coated in that flour. Shake off the excess. Then I'm going to go into the egg. Now I've got my fork here just to keep my glove hand dry. Completely up to you, not always mandatory. Make sure you've got a nice even coating of egg on that. Definitely want to make sure all the excess egg yolk, etc. drains off before we bang it into the panko breadcrumbs. Alright, don't want to insult your intelligence, just spoon that basically on top. When that's suitably covered, flip it over and just keep going until you get every little bit all nice and covered. Now completely up to you, you can double dredge, so you can move straight from here. We can go back into the egg and then go back into the crumb, and then we'll have a double crumb, especially if you like that nice thick breading. The thing I want to emphasize with the crumbs, you just want to pat it in, because obviously that is going to press it right into all those little nooks and crannies, and we're going to get better adhesion from all those crumbs. Bang it onto your plate. Once we finish this, put this into the fridge for about 20 minutes. While that's happening, we can preheat the oil. Righto, chicken's ready. Let's get that oil going until we see it to get some bubbling on the surface. Remember that grease proof I put down on the bottom as well? That easy. Right, so air fryer edition, we just got some avo oil here. That will just, because obviously oil conducts heat better than air, so we'll just give it just a little cheek. That'll crispen up a little bit nicer. That goes in. And we'll let that rip at about 185 to 190 Celsius. See you in about 20 minutes. All right, let's check the oil, see what temperature we're running at. When you get to about 185, yeah, it's about it. Wooden chopstick, and we're starting to get some bubbles up, we're ready to go. So we're gonna go breast and thigh at the same time. We're just gonna monitor the temperature of both. Just remember, lay away if you're not familiar with shallow frying, because we don't want the oil splashing up and ruining our beautiful face. When we start to see a nice golden edge around the corners or the edges of the schnitties, we're going to flip it over. Right, because we want a nice even contact, we're just going to use our Aussie made tucker press straight on the top. That'll just give it just enough pressure to have a nice even contact, beautiful sear on the bottom. Obviously you can use this for steaks, smashing burgers, etc., but it works a treat when you're shallow frying, doing fish, etc., just like this. There's those golden edges that we're talking about previously. Flip it over, continuing to lay it away from us, and we'll do a quick temperature check. As you can see, it's starting to get nice golden brown. If it's starting to cook a little bit fast, that's when we can actually turn down the temperature of the oil. So, internal temperature check. We're sitting at about 56 Celsius, and we want to aim for about 71, which will carry over cook to 74. Tucker press back on, and we'll let that cook out. All right, so as you can see, 71, 72 Celsius. Let's rip it off, and we'll let that rest. Drain the oil first, because it's actually the oil that compromises the crumb. Then bang it onto a wire grate. That will allow air to pass underneath. We're not going to get the crumb all soggy underneath. If you're like me and you're tighter than a fistful of a-holes, you want to bang it back in oil, just go with chucks, because that's actually food safe. Once the oil's cooled down, you can drain it through there, or you can pass it through a couple of times, make sure it's really filtered, then bang it straight in. But obviously if you've burnt the oil, you're going to have to dispose of it. Right now, just a little hit of salt. Flaky salt works a treat over the top as well. Right, so we have the chicken breast. We've got the double crumb chicken thigh, then we've got the air fryer. The colour is quite dramatic. So as you'll notice, a lot of oil is obviously going to leach out of the chicken thigh, and it's going to self-cook itself almost like using tallow. Definitely crispy on the thigh. There's no shadow of a doubt here. All right, let's go the breast. There's the breast. Shallow fried thigh. And there's the air fried thigh. Right, chicken breast, the old stalwart. Super tasty, as you'd expect. Cooked to perfection, still got some good moisture retention. Now let's try the homemade dipping sauce, of course. Oh, stop it. The edge of the chicken thigh. I don't expect much of the edge, but it's one of my favourite bits because I love the crunch. So the thigh. Oh, the tenderness and juiciness between the two. Like the thigh, the breast when cooked to perfection is great, but that thigh just levels it up. Let's try it with the sauce. So if you're not afraid of your ass growing, definitely go the thigh. All right, let's go the thigh, but now cooked in the air fryer. All right, cheated. I went the sauce first. It was amazing. They're not the same crisp, obviously, as the shallow fry. There's a reason for that. As we all know, fried's going to be better, but good moisture retention, just doesn't have that crunch. Arguably, I could have overcooked it a little bit more to give it a little bit more crisp, but depends how far you want to take that thigh over. We could definitely go a few degrees over because it's more forgiving. Well, I can definitely say the thigh shallow fry is by far and away the choice here. It still blows me away that you got a lot of the pubs and the palmies and snitties are still running with the breast. Like, yes, you can get a bigger, generally speaking, get a bigger breast and you can make it look bigger and stuff, but for the superior result, go the thigh. Oh my God.